And there's 5 points available for each round. So think of the competition as divided into 3 sections almost, different from in previous years. And we'll go through it all during the warm-up process. A maximum of 50. Let's have a look at the contenders. And we start with the team from Great Britain. We have the United States of America represented, France, Belgium, Australia. Three gymnasts will actually be competing. There's a fourth gymnast, a reserve, who took part in the qualification process. Representing Australia, Brianna Cauchi, Coralie Catlett and Georgia Bedell. The reserve, Kira Hutchinson. For Belgium, Laura van der Voort, Evie Mill, Louise van Regenmortel and Tashina Peters is the reserve. The USA with Anastasia Kachelova, Tia Taylor and Mia Bruns, with Isabel Steinmeitz as the reserve. France have Candy Brière, Vetila, Maëlle Dumitru-Marin, Manon Morancet and Emily Wamboat as the reserve. And for Great Britain, Shanice Davidson, Comfort Yates, Megan Keeley and the reserve gymnast Jessica Brain. So it is time for the warm-ups, and there will be warm-ups taking place in each of the rounds. So the gymnasts have an opportunity to run through their tumbling passes, and we have the opportunity now just to reflect upon what is to come at these 36th Trampoline Gymnastics World Championships. We will start with Australia. Brianna Cauchi is going to be the gymnast who gets us underway. She won the bronze medal at the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama in the summer. 17-year-old who was the Junior World Championship bronze medalist in 2019. Then we'll have Belgium's Laura van der Voort, part of the team that won a silver medal in this competition in Baku, Azerbaijan last year, and the team that has taken the bronze medal at the European Championships this year. From the United States of America, Anastasia Kachelova will be the first to go. 17-year-old who was the junior national champion last year, a new senior. Candy Brière-Vetila is France's first gymnast to go, the World Games champion and part of the team that won the title last year. They're the defending world champions, the French. And Shanice Davidson of Great Britain will be the last to go, the individual silver medalist in 2019 and part of the team that won the title in that same World Championships in Tokyo. And she's just back after a very severe period of injury. It's been a remarkable comeback for her. Those gymnasts will all go one after the other, and their scores will convert into points. So 5 points if you're the best in the first round, all the way down to 1 point for the last place gymnast. We start with Brianna Cauchi of Australia, bronze medalist at the World Games in Alabama, 17-year-old. Her best score was 24.1 in qualification. Unfortunately, she was under-rotated in the tuck position, and that's a tricky start for Australia, whose last medal was a bronze in Osaka in 1984 in this particular competition. Just loses the form and therefore some of the power a little on the track itself, and comes down under-rotated. Start is quite solid. Gains decent height in the double layout. just a little deterioration in form and power as she goes down the track. There is where the problems really start to occur. She does her best to wrap around into the double tuck, but can't quite get there. She's only 17. Won the under-17 national championships last year, so it's been a really impressive development for Brie Cauchi of late. Gymnast being marked, as is customary in this sport, on difficulty, execution and any applicable penalties that might apply. A shake of the head from the young athlete. But you know what, she's had a fantastic year. That bronze medal at the World Games was a remarkable accomplishment. It's 20.4 for Australia, so a slightly tricky beginning for their competition as we now head to Belgium. Laura van der Voorde of Belgium, 23-year-old. At her second World Championships, she won a silver medal with the team last time round. Oh, nice secure landing that was from van der Voorde. Huge congratulations to her for her graduation as a Master of Industrial Pharmacy earlier this year. Very accomplished academic. Her form during much of the pass has a little leg bend in it, here and there. Layout position is, again, reasonably secure, but she loses some of the correct body position as she moves down the track. She's quite central though, really stuck on the line. Little leg bend in the pike, but the landing is excellent. So much to enjoy about that display. Her top scoring qualification was 23.9. This should get quite close to that. (23.4), 16.9 the execution score for Laura van der Voorde. So Belgium now in the lead in this first round, and a reminder that everything converts to points. Next, United States. Anastasia Kachalova from the United States of America, the 17-year-old from Lakeland in Florida. Last year's junior national champion. She's come in as a late replacement for Tasha Williams, and she had a 24.5 first pass in qualifying. She's a powerful and exciting young athlete. Oh, I tell you what, that's a super beginning to her final. That is remarkable from this young athlete who wasn't even expecting to be here. She's got real power. Secure landing. Double layout was tidy. Perhaps not enormously piked in the pike position, particularly as she unwraps to come out into the landing, but there's such stability in her landing position. And again, keep an eye on that central line. She's pretty well bang on the mark throughout, so no 10th deductions really to be applied for deviation from the tram lines. Very well done to her. No wonder she looks so thrilled at how her competition has begun. Surely they'll go into the lead, the USA. I think that means they have done based on that reaction. 24.7, look at the execution. 18.2 for Kachalova. So the USA leads now. To France and Candy Brière-Vetela The reigning World Games champion, the 19-year-old from the northwest of France, from Le Mans. And her top score in qualification, 25.9, so a full 1.2 better than anything we've seen so far. She's come here really as the in-form women's tumbler in the world. Oh, there's difficulty, there's real difficulty. That's a powerful display from Candy Brière-Vatillard of France. So much power to her work. Great height, double tuck, and then the double pike to finish. She adds in that double tuck into the middle of the pass. Double layout, good toe point as well, really nice fine details to her gymnastics. Then again, she's got the toes pointed in the tuck position. Quite a tidy pike as well, a tight pike. Yes, a big step back on the landing. Can lose anything up to a few tenths for that sort of landing, but on the whole, this is really secure from Candy Brière-Vatillard. Difficulty-wise, it's likely to do well. So we are awaiting the clarification for this, the penultimate pass of the first round. Currently, the USA leads with Anastasia Kachelova's 24.7. The score doesn't matter in terms of the difference between you and the next best person, because it's not done on total score anymore like it was in previous years. It's simply about securing the 5 points. You can win by 100, you can win by a mark, it won't change anything. And that is a real change from the way these team finals have operated in recent years. And there are other changes that will come across as these championships go on. And she'll be aiming for the individual final as well, Brière-Vatillard, having come in as the top qualifier last year and finished 6th. She'll be wanting to get back out and have another go at it. But it's a fine start for the defending champions. Oh yes, there we go. 27.4 and 9.3 for difficulty from Candy Brière-Vatillard. And that now asks the question of Shanice Davidson of Great Britain. And just to have Shanice back, the 22-year-old from Gateshead who ruptured her left Achilles the week before the last World Championships. She didn't return until June. She won a silver medal at last month's National Championships. It is splendid to see her back. Oh, that also is superb work. Shanice Davidson of Great Britain. Well, she has enormous height at the start. Let's take a look back at how high she gets into the double layout with good form as well. Whips very impressively down the track. Yes, a little degradation of form in the final part of this run. She's quite close to the centre throughout, minor deviation right there at the end. Twisting as well to add some difficulty. That is going to be a very competitive first round from the British team. They've won the title twice in 2003 and 2019. 25.9 for Shanice Davidson. And this is what it means at the first third mark of the competition. So we've had 1 out of 3 rounds completed. We have France as the top performers, coming in as the second best in qualification. 5 points for Candy Brière-Vettila. A 17-year-old from Westmead in the Sydney suburbs. Double junior world champion in 2019, remarkably, in women's tumbling and double mini trampoline. She's done very well to hold on to that landing. A big step and stumble forwards and real strength from Catlett to hold it. She's fundraised to get here like many of the Australian gymnasts. She'll lose some execution marks for her form at points along the way. There, for example. And particularly as she moves into the final twist into the pike position, a little leg separation in the pike position, slight wheelbarrow motion, but great wherewithal to hold on to that landing. This is a young Australian squad, 2 17-year-olds and a 20-year-old with an 18-year-old reserve athlete. Great accomplishment by them in qualifying for this final.
I wonder if your family and friends are watching right now. Must be somewhere.
24.1. Coralie Catlett. That is really midway between her 2 qualification passes. Evie Mille of Belgium, 22-year-old, who was the 2021 Sportswoman of the Year in Ostend, her hometown. This is her senior World Championship debut. Belgium started with 2 points from Laura van der Voort. Oh, she's very compressed there, unfortunately. And that tumbling pass has to be drawn to a close. Right decision to try to go no further. It wasn't safe to do so. And it's as she comes out of the layout position, just thuds into the ground and all of the kinetic energy is lost. And she does well actually to get her body round into a safe landing position, the sort of thing that all tumblers are well trained in doing. Now, something that she can really take heart from in this final is that all of this converts to points and consequently a low score, and it is a low score sadly, a 14.8, it still will earn a point and it will not necessarily put Belgium out of contention totally. Tia Taylor of the United States of America, 19-year-old from Knoxville in Tennessee, and at her debut World Championships last year she won an all-around silver medal with the team. Oh, and she's, oh goodness me. Oh no. Just hope that all is okay here for Tia Taylor. Well, what happened there was she came down on the mat for the final part of her pass, leading to an extremely compressed landing. And quite rightly, the coaches have come over to make sure, along with the medical staff, that she just stays motionless, and that's absolutely the right thing in this situation. That was a very uncomfortable landing for the USA's Tia Taylor. once again, medical treatment is being administered now to the young athlete from the United States of America. So this will take as long as it takes, and this sort of thing must never ever be rushed. She's over getting plenty of medical assessment at the moment. For those of you who have just joined the coverage now, regrettably the United States of America's second tumbler in the team competition, Tia Taylor, had a very compressed landing, just coming down on her back and shoulders and very much towards her neck and head, and as a result she's receiving medical treatment. There are some very concerned athletes here. These are members of the tumbling squad. They're a very tightly knit bunch of competitors. And we must say at this time, well done to all of the medical staff who were very promptly there and are assisting in the treatment of the gymnast. I'm not going to read out the score because it's not important. What matters is the well-being of this young athlete. At a time like this, we don't really show any interest in the numbers because this is a human being and their welfare is of far greater importance than any medal that can ever be handed out at a sporting event. Now I can tell you that there is immense relief here that Tia Taylor is on her feet, and that is a glorious thing to see. She's being helped off the competition floor. There was a stretcher brought on which was decided was not necessary, but doubtless she will go off now for further medical assessment, and we will continue with our competition, and we wish all the best for Tia Taylor. Maëlle Dumitru-Marin of France, part of the team that won the title last year in Azerbaijan and a two-time European team champion. Here she goes. It's going to be very tough to make it there. Well, if the athlete doesn't actually make it onto the mat by the end of their pass, then very substantial deductions are taken from the score. And it's right there in the middle of the pass that everything just slightly drifts away from her. Well, it's a tough team final, this. And for the French, who led the way after the first round, this might be a touch problematic for their score. Remarkably, Maëlle Dumitru-Marin only took up tumbling in 2016 after 12 years of artistic gymnastics. She's had an incredibly successful career in a short space of time. But we certainly have ourselves an unpredictable women's team final going on at the moment. 19.5. 0.4 penalty applied. Now, does that give Great Britain the chance to move into the lead? Comfort Yates, the 17-year-old from Chichester in West Sussex, This is her Senior World Championship debut. This is promising. It's very good from Comfort Yates of Great Britain, the student at Westbourne House School. And after a very tense second round, for obvious reasons, that was calm work from Comfort Yates. Gets good height in the double layout. Twists around with a sizable step back, but a well-controlled step back on the landing. Powerful young athlete. She was, after all, the bronze medalist at the Junior World Championships last year. A little off the centre line. Some small deductions for execution to be applied here and there. But this ought to do well. Now we're still waiting for that number for Comfort Yates. And here it is, 25. That's the strongest number produced in that second round of the United States of America, managing to get 2 points. So all of that means that Great Britain are on 9 points ahead of France on 7. And then we have two teams, the USA and Australia, on 5 points. Back we go for the final round. Georgia Bedell of Australia, the 20-year-old from Henley Beach in the Adelaide suburbs, an undergraduate in accounting and finance at the University of Adelaide. Can Australia get themselves into contention? No. That might make things a little tricky for them in what has been a very difficult team final for a lot of these gymnasts. It's such marginal things, it's so little that ends a tumbling pass where the momentum just goes slightly the wrong angle of landing can change everything. Getting the wrong height in mid-air, coming down at the wrong angle. It's very difficult.
And her coach waiting for the score in the grind.
The reserve gymnast for Australia, 18-year-old Kira Hutchinson, making her debut at the World Championships. .3, the score for Georgia Bedell of Australia.
Next, Belgium.
Louise van Regenmortel of Belgium is the last to go for her team. Again, part of the squad that took silver last year. 19-year-old is from Antwerp province. Her best in qualification was 24.1. That is a very powerful display from Van Regenmortel. Try to get Belgium into contention, and you never know, they might actually be able to push up towards a medal with that sort of performance. Yes, she takes quite a few 10th deductions for her landing, but the pass itself, for the most part, is fluid, is powerful, and in the air, she's very secure. Double layout, no issues. And she's actually got quite good form in the twist position, gets the arms closely into the body. That could help Belgium a great deal as they try to push up the leaderboard. All eyes glued to the big screen hanging from the rafters of the arena, Sophia. Waiting for Belgium's score. Still to come, the United States of America, France and Great Britain. With Great Britain the leaders after 2 of the 3 passes. And as I mentioned earlier, a change to the team final format this year, whereby it's not based on total score, it's a points system. 1 all the way up to 5 points, depending on how you place. Belgium's reserve, Tashina Peters, had a tricky time of things in qualification, having been the individual bronze medalist last year. So she was placed as the reserve for this final, which I suspect many people would not have anticipated coming into this competition. Some consternation over at the judges' table. Nod of the head from somebody with a clipboard is usually a good sign. Still they wait for this score for Louise van Regenmortel. Meanwhile, Mia Bruns of the United States of America is next to go. And we still have to come the men's and women's team finals in double mini trampoline and the men's team tumbling final. 24.8 for Belgium. That could help them enormously. Very interesting. Have they got back in the game suddenly? Mia Bruns of the United States of America is the last to go for her team, whose last medal in this event was a silver in 2009. The 18-year-old, based in Illinois, silver medalist at the World Games earlier this year. She's quite a tumbler. Oh, what a landing from Mia Bruns. That was a joy of a pass. She's been in such good form this year, and that was quite marvellous. Mia Bruns, extremely secure looking tumbling.
She won the bronze medal at the World Age Group competitions back in 2017.
Yeah, she slightly wheelbarrows around or windmills around. But it's really secure. This is going to get a very positive number. 25.4 for Mia Bruns of the United States of America. Manon Morancet of France is the last to go. The USA having really put themselves back into contention. This is a really important pass for the French team, the defending world champions. 21-year-old Manon Morancet. And she also has a really purposeful tumbling pass. This gymnast at her second World Championships, but she actually competed at the World Age Group competition, the Junior World Championships, whilst doing the Senior Level World Championships. So she won the title at the junior equivalent over the last couple of years. She's stable as she hits the mat. University undergraduate in health science and sports studies at Le Mans University. We've got a very good final round going on here. 25. So the United States of America still ahead of the French. Now we finish with Megan Keeley of Great Britain, the team leading the way, the team that won the title in 2003 and 2019. And it was Keeley who secured it in 2019 with her final pass. Can she do it again? That is magnificent from Megan Keeley, the gymnast from Chertsey in Surrey. She has 2 gold medals and 3 bronze medals at the World Championships, and she surely is going to get something else after this display. She's so powerful coming out of the twist position. Very well controlled, keeps tightly to the centre line. Excellent double layout, very good form, really well presented gymnastics. She was the junior world champion in Sophia in 2017 in this arena. It's 25.1 for Megan Keeley of Great Britain. And that is confirmation that Great Britain have taken the World Championship team tumbling title. And we'll bring you all of the classified results in just a moment. They're staring now at the board, just waiting to have this confirmed for them, because now everything's got to be added up. Because it's not based on total score. So now we look up at the board, waiting for those numbers to be converted into points. But that puts her in second place behind Mia Brunt, and that is going to be enough. We have the official confirmation now. Great Britain, the champions in the women's team tumbling competition, and once again it's brought home by Megan Keeley. At her 4th World Championships, she's joined by Shanice Davidson, back from injury, Comfort Yates at her 1st World Championships, and the reserve gymnast Jessica Brain, who is the reigning national champion. And it's just the 3rd time that Great Britain has won that title. The full results to follow, but it is Great Britain that has taken the women's team tumbling title.
Australia, Belgium, France, United States, and Great Britain. Congratulating each other, of course, after that great final.
So we have a look back at how it was that the medals were decided in this women's team tumbling competition at the Arena Sophia in Bulgaria. The United States of America managing to win themselves a medal, along with France, and Great Britain taking the title. We'll bring you the classified results just as soon as we can.